Hello everybody, welcome to another game with Dominions 4. I'm Mew. Pleased to meet you. This time around I'm going to be playing in an early age game. It's my first early age game. It's another multiplayer game, of course. I'm only going to be recording multiplayer games. My first two games were both late age games. I played as late age Jomon and then late age Patala. This time around I'm going to be playing as early age Machaka. So that should be quite cool. In my first game as Jomon, I took an imprisoned pretender with a big bless, and in my second game I took an awake Davy of Darkness, so a sort of awake super combatant pretender with terrible scales. This time around I'm going to be playing with quite good scales, but again I'm going to have an awake pretender. It's not going to be a super combatant this time, it's just going to be a kind of support pretender. And I'll get into pretender design in a second. First I'm just going to mention that this game is also going to be running a mod. It's my first modded game that I'm playing. The mod is called pudmod, and it's made by somebody called modpud, which is confusing, but pudmod is like a huge balance mod. It makes like a gigantic number of changes. It makes changes to pretender chassis, it makes changes to nations and their mages, it makes changes to items, spells, all kinds of stuff. It makes quite small changes. So, for instance, you know, lots of like low-level spells have been given scaling values. So, as an example, Tangle Vines, I know. Tangle Vines now scales with nature levels. The AoE gets slightly bit larger. So, that's an example of a small change. Example of a medium change, let me think. I know that like certain mages for different civilizations have, you know, some have been tweaked, they've been given better path levels, some have been made... in the case of Machaka, one of my mages that is usually slow to recruit is no longer slow to recruit. So changes like that. And then it also makes some quite big changes as well. You can actually see it on the pretender here. The Netter of the Moon has a map move of 4. Usually the Netter of the Moon has a map move of 3. But in pudmod, all units are just given a flat +1 movement bonus. So... everything can move an additional province than it usually could. So a lot of units have map move 4 and a lot of units have map move 3 now. And no unit has map move 1. So that's the mod that I'm going to be playing in. I'll go over some stuff that the mod changes as I encounter it, but to be honest I'm so inexperienced that I probably won't even recognise a lot of things that have changed. But I'm told that the mod is quite good. And it makes a lot of other little changes as well, lots of tweaks and things like that. And so that's that. Pudmod, I might put a link to it in the description or something. Anyway, as for the pretender that I've designed, okay. So, I took the Netter of the Moon, I thought this was quite interesting. This guy gets a lot of research bonuses. He gets Adept Researcher +10, so he has a straight bonus to his research value. He also has this Inspiring Researcher bonus, which gives a +2 research bonus to everybody in the same province. So I thought that's kind of cool. We could use this guy to, like, if he's awake, we can use him to get research going really quickly. So I thought, okay, let's go with that. In terms of scales, I took Order 3 because we have a lot of mages as Machaka who generate unrest, and I thought, well, the bonus to unrest reduction would probably be quite useful. So Order I thought was a pretty good call. I took Productivity 2 because I'm going to be trying to recruit a lot of Rhino Clan warriors in the early game, and, well, probably throughout the game I'll recruit a lot of Rhino Clan warriors. Rhino Clan warriors are very good, but they have quite a high resource cost. I think it's 13 resources. So I took 2 productivity to give me the resources to recruit them. I took Heat 1 because Machaka prefers Heat 2, so it was just a place to pick up some points. I took Growth 1 because, I don't know, I like growth. I think you should always take a point of growth if you can get away with it. I mean, the fact that it just constantly increases your potential income seems like a no-brainer. I mean, it means even if you're not capping provinces, your income is still going up, even if it is slowly. I took Misfortune 2 because I had to sacrifice something somewhere to get the points. I dare not go all the way to Misfortune 3, I've heard that's terrible, but Misfortune 2 I don't think would be too bad. And interestingly, our Pretender also has this Fortune Teller bonus. So that'll take the edge up a bit as well. And then I put 2 points into magic because I thought, since we've got all these research bonuses, why not go all the way in and let's boost our research as much as possible. So units back home will have +2 from Inspiring Researcher and +2 from Scales. So we should be able to get some levels in magic really early on. With all the points I had left, I got 7 Dominion, because I wanted Dominion quite high because Machaka has some mages that have Heretic, which reduces Dominion. So 7 was like, that's like the bare minimum I was willing to go. I would have liked it to be quite higher than that, but that's where I had to sit. And with the points I had left, I put Astral up to 5. The Netter of the Moon starts with some Astral. I think it's 2. It might have been 3. Pretty sure it's 2 though. It starts with some amount of Astral anyway, so I just put it up to 5 with the points I had left. And that's the Pretender. And I named him Psychodynamic Psychotherapy. Don't ask, no reason. But we'll get into it anyway, and I'll see you on turn 1. Hello, turn 1. So nice to have a tiny message window. I'm still in the middle of a Patala game at the moment that's in turn 50, and every turn is like a gigantic list of messages. Only 2 though. In the beginning there was Chaos, and now the wheel has turned once again. But we've seen those many times before. So, let's take a look at the map. I've already seen the map because I saw it posted before the game started, but yeah, it's this diamond-shaped landmass, which we've started on the northwest corner of. And also a diamond-shaped ocean. But I don't think this game has any water nations in it, so this might remain empty for whoever is sort of pioneering enough to get into it. But let's focus on land for now. So, in the early game, in my practice games at least, I tended to expand the same way, and that was with a Voice of Lion, with some Rhino Clan and some Lion Clan, which I'll go through in a second, plus an Elephant, and then as many Lions as I could get, which in this case is 5. So let's see. So the Voice of Lion that I recruited is my most basic mage. The reason I get this guy is just because he's got Beastmaster leadership, which gives animal units +2 morale. So he's going to be coming along with my Prophet in my starting army. He's a very basic mage, as you can see, but he's also a priest, so he can build labs and temples, which is kind of useful actually, to have in your expansion army. So that's the first mage. I'll go through the other mages as I recruit them, because there's quite a lot for Machaka. As for units I recruited some of these guys. These are Rhino Clan. These are the soldiers that I want to recruit the most of, because they are incredible. They have strictly above average stats across the board, with the exception of precision, which isn't important because they don't have any ranged attacks. They've got shield, good armor, 12 protection, 13 hit points, 11 morale, 14 defense. They also have map move 4, because like I said in pudmod games, everyone has an additional +1 to map movement. So map move 4. They are formation fighters, so they don't suffer morale penalties in line formation, which is really cool. And they also have a length 5 spear, which is as good as it gets. That's for repel stuff. Length 5 is as long as I think weapons can be. I don't think there are any length 6 weapons. I suppose there might be, but I haven't seen any yet. But overall, these guys are amazing, and I'll try to recruit them as much as possible. Where not possible, however, I'll get some of these guys. These are Lion Clan. Very similar, length 5 spear, good stats. Only thing that's different is their protection is only 5, because they're missing a piece of armor. And they're wearing furs instead of armor. So only protection 5 for those guys. Elephants, you may have seen already in my other games, but if not, they've got gigantic hit points. And in the case of Machacan elephants, their morale isn't too bad. Their big downside is the magic resistance, which makes them really inappropriate for fighting humans. But for expanding, elephants are great. And then these lions. I like war lions. They are undisciplined, so you can't script them, but they have 20 action points, so you can just stick them right at the back of your army, and they'll just jump to the front and start mauling people really quickly. And I really like them because they're easy to mass. So I'll probably be recruiting a couple of lions wherever possible. That'll be my starting army. Kiambu here, my Rhino Clan commander. Let's give him a name. He can be Unconscious Motives. He can be the Prophet of Psychodynamic Psychotherapy. And my scout... let's have a look. So we've got a throne here in a plains, and a forest. So pretty boring all around. Let's check out this province. My pretenders can start researching, and we're going to go for enchantment first, because we have a lot of death magic. And if there's one thing I know about death magic, it's that you go enchantment first. It's got these cool raised skeletons, raised dead, where's the horde of skeletons at level 5, this is the big one I think. Really good. And we've also got nature mages so they can do stuff like relief, I think, is in enchantment, right? Let's just check. Yep, relief at 6. What else is here? Oh, regen's cool. Gift of health, we want to cast that later on in the game? I don't know. What about earth? What does earth give us in enchantment? Oh, I've heard these hidden in sand and hidden underneath spells are quite good. That's a lot of earth gems they require though. And we're also fire. Oh, of course, we get flaming arrows. So enchantment is really good for us. So I'm going to plan on going enchantment first. So that's where my first research points are going. And that's everything. Turn 1s always make me nervous. I always think I've forgotten something, but I don't think I have. Mercenaries, Victor's villains. Victor commands 10 men and demands 30 pounds of gold. Do I have 30 gold? No. So we don't get to check out Victor's villains. Too bad. Anyway, that's turn 1. And I'll see you on turn 2, when something interesting might happen. Okay, turn 2. So almost everybody declared a prophet, as you can see. The only person that didn't is Archaecephaly. So I'll quickly go through these. Let's see. The first of many is the prophet of On the Shoulders of Men for Ermor. Gondobad the Warrior Chief is the prophet of Totally Not Phallic Guys for Ulm. I assume that's a what are they called? Monolith? Or something like that. There's me. Sati has Rocking That Snakeskin the Lizard Lord as the prophet of Pantocrator Realness. Pajir is That Nagging Feeling, the prophet of Hiss. Vanheim is Fuck You Dad, the prophet of Cool Dad. Oh my... Rip my butthole wide open, the Vandar Commander is the prophet of Puff the Magic Dragon. Thank you for making me say that, Lanka. And Beritos got great titles, says the prophet of Spurge Lord. Let's see, Kraft Singles is the prophet of Velveeta Cheese. Daniel Jackson is the prophet of Dr. Sam Carter, Destroyer of Suns. I assume that's a reference to something that I don't get. And Professor McWhiskers, the prophet of Cat Lady. Good grief. Urim Beritos got great titles. How do I see that? Pretenders. Velveeta Cheese, Mistress of the Winds, Lady of the Creamery. That is a pretty good titles. What did I get? Oh, I got the face painted with bells. The best title. Guardian of the Bridge, Keeper of the Celestial Records, Prince of the Sacred Eye. Okay, anyway, that's enough gods and prophets. So what did we do last turn? We recruited some Lion warriors and Rhino clan warriors, and as you can see I've dumped them into Unconscious Motives squad here. The animals I'm going to give to our Voice of Lion, and you can stay behind troops. These can attack closest, these can fly closest. I'm going to stick the melee guys right at the front, I'm going to put the archers slightly behind, and the animals are going to go over here. Because they'll close distance quite quickly, but this will keep them out of the way of arrows and things. As for where to send them, this province here is clearly the smallest. This one doesn't look too bad either. I'm tempted to hit this one first though, because then I can start to circle around. Or maybe take this one next, or something like that. Even though this one is quite large, it is a wolf tribe though. So I might be okay with them. I don't know, I might lose a few units or part of my army might rout or something like that if I'm really unlucky. But if everything goes well, I should be able to take out wolf tribe. Because they don't have javelins or anything like that. They have short bows, and they have 2 attacks on their melee guys. But that's about it, I think. Recruitment for this turn. Mainly the same again. I recruited as many Rhino warriors as I could, and then 2 Lion at the end. and the mage I recruited this time was this guy, Hyena Clan Witch Doctor. These guys have no additional paths, they just have what you see there. But that means they're guaranteed to have Death 2, which is great for spamming skeletons. So you want a lot of these guys knocking around. Hyena Clan Witch Doctors are also heretics, which means they reduce Dominion, which is unfortunate. And they're also disease healers, which means they cure... If any of your units get the disease affliction, these guys can cure it, which is kind of cool. And they have 13 research, which will get boosted quite high with my Dominion and everything. So that's the end of that turn. The only mercenaries are these guys for 220 gold, which is way too expensive for me. But maybe next time there'll be a mercenary we can recruit. Oh, a scout. Almost forgot. So let's move him here. We'll keep moving him ahead of our army. And at some point it'd be nice to have him attack this throne just to see what's here. It's mainly Deer Tribe, but there's also a Sorceress, and I don't know what they cast. Phantasmal Warriors probably aren't cool either. But that's the turn. And I'll see you on turn 3. Hello. Turn 3. So, another simple turn. Ocacephaly declared their prophet. Lagoon, the Skeptic, shall hereby be known as the prophet of Shenanigans Ahoy. And we had our first battle in Amel, which went, well, I can let you take a look how it went. Pretty straightforward. As you can see there, my commander just smited the enemy commander, so the melee squad instantly routs. And then we just rampage over everything. So, total casualties, 1. One of my archers got picked off right at the start, and that was it. So that was about as perfectly as it could have gone, with the exception of the archer, who ruined everything. But really, I mean, that went better than any of my test game early fights. I've never only lost 1 unit before in a first fight, so I'm very pleased with that. Just going to move these guys now, same army. They're just heading into this province, which my scout was in last turn. Well, this turn. Moved to this turn. It's a barbarian province, which are quite scary, I think. But at the moment, it's only 20 enemy units in the report. So let's hope that it's a barbarian province on the lower side of things. And hopefully we'll be able to take it with a few casualties. Now I'm actually leaving the scout here this turn because I want the scout to start building a fort there next turn. Which is very early, but I can build cheap, crappy forts for like 600 gold, I think. Let me just check. Palisades, 600 gold, and only 4 months. They're not very good as fortresses, they only have 50 defense. But they still let you recruit mages and things, you know, national units, once you have a lab and a temple. As for recruitment, this turn I'm recruiting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more Rhino Warriors, which you've already seen, that's these guys. And with my remaining resources and stuff, I recruited 1 elephant and 4 lions. And I'm also recruiting another Voice of Lion, which will lead these guys next turn. So that will be plus the units in the garrison. And that will be another expansion army. So that's we'll have a new expansion army on turn 4. So nice and early. Everything's going quite well, I think. One thing I did do last turn, after I stopped recording, I went back in and I changed my research slightly. Because I realised if I took a quick detour to Conjuration, I can get Tangle Vines at level 1, which scales in this mod, which I mentioned. And that would be something useful that my my Voice of Lions could actually cast. So as you can see, I've changed the script here for Baka. He's now on hold or cast a spell, and then stay behind troops. Because I don't want him just on cast, because I don't want him to... I can't script him specifically to cast Tangle Vines because we don't have it yet. But we should have it for the battle next turn, if you see what I mean. So I'm hoping that he will pick it from the list of spells that he can cast in the next fight. Because Tangle Vines is a great little spell to chuck out on little Nature 1 mages. So that's why I don't have a point in enchantment this turn, because I diverted my points slightly. But we're heading back to enchantment now. We'll have Conjuration 1 next turn, and we'll have enchantment 1 next turn too. And then we'll go back to just sticking our points into enchantment. And that's everything. No new mercenaries. just have to wait till next turn to see what happens. So I'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Hello, welcome back. Turn 4. Okay, so a couple of messages this turn. We got Researching Conjuration, so we can now cast Tangle Vines. And I guess we can cast, let's see, Summon Cave Grubs, Spirit Curse, Black Servant. I don't know. We've got some other stuff as well. Mainly we've got Tangle Vines though. The rest of my points are going back into enchantment now. So same plan. Just head up this, get the cool death spells, plus flaming arrows and some other stuff. Battle in Nirn. Even better than last time. 0 casualties. Wow. So let's see what happened there. Pretty sure it's just 2 blobs walking into each other though. Yep. Barbarians are out pretty quickly. It's just the first few turns that they're in melee range hitting you is always really scary, because there's always so many of them and they always hit really hard. That was great. Went perfect. The province we just captured is Nirn. I've finally turned province names on. I always forget to do that. Whoops. And we got 2 unexpected events in Nirn. Brigands have taken up residence in a ruin. I don't know if that means I have to actually root them out, or if it's just flavor text. And we also got 1 nature gem in the trunk of an oak tree. And then we got this cool event. Suddenly Aina the Lady of Spiders appeared at the gates of your fortress and wanted to fight for your cause. I've never had a hero appear before, so that's really interesting. Can't do much with mages in the very early game, but she starts with 27 research, so with just 3 mages researching in my cat, my research persona is 73, which is crazy. So that's fantastic. I think she's slightly different. The mod that's being used, pudmod, boosts a lot of heroes and things like that. So I think she usually only has fire 1, but in this mod she has fire 3, in addition to her 3 and death 3. So she's a really fantastic spellcaster. And she can shape change into a giant spider. Which is what I always look for in a woman. I'm not sure if that does anything. She can even cast spells while in spider form. Usually when a unit can shape change, it gives you an extra life when you die. Like, they die and they just turn into their second shape instead. So maybe that'll happen as well. Okay, anything else? Yep, we put all these units into Bayval, the Voice of the Lion, his squads. So all the melee units plus the elephant are just in this big lump right at the front. And the lions are in this undisciplined blob down at the bottom here. And Baval himself is just standing a little bit further forward, and he's just scripted to cast Tangle Vines. And he's attacking Earthfell here, which contains about 20 units, mostly heavy infantries and militias, so hopefully that won't be too difficult. And my starting army is heading from Nirn to Newland. Again, same setup. The only difference is Backer is now explicitly set to cast Tangle Vines. They're attacking Newland. This might be somebody's cap circle province, I don't know. There is a dark candle in it. But we'll just see how it goes. It's quite a tricky province. It's got a lot of units, but they're mostly militia and archers, it looks like. So hopefully, if I just make the militia route quickly, and then kill some archers, hopefully it won't go too bad. Taking this province, if it's really big, has the potential to go really poorly and just wipe out my starting army, or at least do a lot of damage to it. But I think it's worth the risk, because that gives me a nice sort of wide berth in my expansion. And I've got a second expansion army up anyway now, so I can take a few more risks, I think. Scout is building a palisade in this province. That cost me 600 gold, so I couldn't do anything else with my gold, so I'm not doing any recruitment this turn. But we'll have that new fort up in very, very quickly. And that's it for this turn. So 2 fights next time to look forward to. And we should get another... No. We're close though, we're close to level 2 in enchantment, which doesn't really give us anything that interesting, unfortunately. But oh well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on turn 5. Hello, turn 5. Unexpected event in... Great, cool. Anyway, we had some battles first though. First of all, alright, I'll just show you the map first of all. So we found Lanka. Apparently that province I capped was in Lanka's cap circle. I've now played 3 games, and in all 3 games I have accidentally captured a province in somebody else's cap circle. That seems to kind of be my thing. I just do that. I'm sorry. Not really though. But I spoke to Lanka's player, and Lanka was very reasonable and said, hey, it's fine. I said, you can take it from me whenever you want. Just give me a turn to get my troops out of it. But as for capturing it, the fight to take it didn't actually go great. Fortunately, what we lost most of was Machaka warriors, who aren't terribly hardy. As you can see, they have 0 protection because they have no armor. That was mostly what we lost. So the problem isn't really that we lost any good units, it's just that we lost a lot of crap units. So, you know, we lost like a quarter of our army. And the reason for that was just that there's just a lot of units. There's a lot of ranged units, there's a huge blob of militia. Militia themselves aren't a problem, of course, it's just the longer you're held up fighting melee units, the longer the range units have to shoot at you. And then my army routed, which was another unfortunate side effect, because a handful of rhinos retreated to this province. So what am I left with in Newland? Well, I've got 1 rhino who is diseased. Shame I don't have one of those spellcasters with me, the hyena sorcerer, or hyena witch doctor. And 2 lions, but the rest are just Machaka warriors. So this army is quite weak now. Fortunately, for the last 2 turns, this province has said it only contains 10 units. Horse tribe cavalries are quite tough, though, I found. So this province isn't a gimme by any means. Horse tribes tend to be quite good because they all sit at the back and fire short bows. But I'm moving into it anyway, and hopefully we capture it. If we don't capture it, then I'm just going to take my mage and just sit him in Nern, and he can wait there to build the temple in the lab. If we do capture it, then we can either do that anyway, go to Nern to just build a temple in the lab, or we might continue to rightwards, depending on how courageous we're feeling. My second expansion army had another fight. This one went a lot better. We only lost 1 unit, lost 1 of our Rhino clan warriors. I'll show you how that went. If you remember, the way this is scripted is I just stuck everything in one big blob at the front, including the elephant, the lions at the side. But it works quite well. Elephants, as always, are very loud. And then in Newland, that was the province we just took. We got plus 20 unrest and minus 500 population. So, sorry about that, Lanka, but apparently my bad luck just reduced the population in this otherwise quite a good province. 9,600 population. Okay, so what's happening this turn? Well, like I said, we're moving that starting army to Kaz Hador. My second army is moving to Murias. I imagine that the way I'll do this now is my second army will capture the inner circle of provinces, and my original army will try to capture the outer circle of provinces. I don't think it will be able to. I think it's already sort of on its last legs, but that's the sort of plan. In terms of recruitment, I'm recruiting another Hyena Clan Witch Doctor. I realised that in pudmod, Spider Clan Sorcerers are not slow to recruit. So apparently in the default game these guys are slow to recruit. But in pudmod they're just normal mages. So I assume that's because they're bad as slow to recruit mages, maybe? That would be my reasoning for why they'd be changed. I think in general the Hyena Clan Witch Doctor is going to be better just to have to begin with because they have Death 2 guaranteed. And Death 2 as a guarantee seems good for spamming the Death Summon spells. Spider Clans have slightly more variants, but I suppose... I don't know, let me just check. Oh, they've got a Nature Path, okay. So they're a bit different in that way as well. So these could potentially be Nature 3 mages and stuff like that. So that's cool. So I might start recruiting a couple of Spider Clan sorcerers as well, but for now it's just another Hyena Clan Witch Doctor. And a couple of Rhino Warriors, as many as I could afford. I put the province defense in these 3 provinces up to 5. I'm going to be trying to get the province defense reasonably high because I am Misfortune, and I can only assume that that means Barbarian events and things like that. So I'll try and get province defense up higher than I usually do. I usually just leave it at like 2 or 3, except in important provinces. But I'll try and get things up to like 10 or 15 as an average, I think, in this game. And other than that, nothing to check except mercenaries, and there aren't any. I did notice that this Voice of Lion that I didn't name, and I'm feeling really disappointed about now, he got Valor, he got a heroic ability, he's in the Hall of Fame. And that makes him inspirational, which I think is really cool, because I love leadership and morale and stuff like that. I like having really good leaders and lots of morale bonuses. So I'm quite pleased with that, but I'm disappointed that I didn't name him before he got in the Hall of Fame. Oh well. Research is proceeding. There'll be Enchantment 2 next level, but there's nothing too interesting here. I went through all the spells and checked out what they all did, but nothing blew me away just yet. I don't think there's anything else left to do. I'm the last person to take my turn, so as soon as I hit end, it's going to turn over. So let me just take a moment, just to think. I can't recruit any more units, there's no mercenaries. I did check what I could recruit in these provinces, because so far I've been really disappointed that there's no commanders. This I can't use as a commander. This I can't use as a commander really because it's undisciplined. I don't know, that just seems to bother me because it'll just run forward in the fights. But finally you've got a province here that has commanders, so I'm recruiting one of those. Just because you know, in the early game it doesn't hurt to just have some commanders knocking about, I think. So yeah, I'm going to end the turn there. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in 0 seconds.